So when you were doing case management, what were some of the biggest challenges you had?
Two things. The directives that would come from the district level down
Right.
wouldn't necessarily make sense sometimes. Why do we need to do that redundant task? And
Yeah.
the Department of Redundancy department, we would say that it's already there. That information is already there. And then the second thing would be, okay, now that you've asked me to do that, you haven't made it. You've doubled now my work and time that I would have to do it. Whether if it would ask now, I have to go to the English teacher for comprehension data. I would have to go to the math teacher for math calculation data. And that's not always the easiest. That's time consuming. We used to do these reports of progress every quarter. If a student has a disability, sometimes that progress would be so minimal. And you'd have to do these every quarter on top of being, lesson plans, on top of grades, on top of working with other students. And so streamlining that process. Hey, the district wants us to do A, B, and C. Okay, like you just gave me 3 extra jobs for the next 9 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating.
I mean, how many more hours do you think it added to your workload?
Oh my gosh. An extra hour a day in your life is dedicated to your paperwork.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even mention, the Sunday night panics or the Sunday night anxieties where you're like, hey, I had a great weekend. And then it'd be 8 o'clock Sunday night and you're like, okay, what meetings do I have? Oh my gosh, it's overwhelming. But you get used to that anxiety, if that makes any sense, and then you operate.
Yep.
And if you're
But
just,
it must be,
I think education is difficult. But if you're only teaching one prep, I only teach freshman English. That's hard, and it is grading all the assignments. But at 3 o'clock, you're like, all right, well, that's tomorrow's day. Where I'm going, holy cow, I only finished my day. I've got to complete this IEP. I've got to gather data to include it in the IEP. I got to make sure I'm emailing people and it's, wow, that's a lot of stuff.
And, a lot of times when things fall through the cracks or, an IEP isn't serviced properly, there can be a lot of liabilities, some of them pretty severe.
Yes.
Have you been in sort of those situations where you had to spend a lot of time sort of responding to litigation that took you away from your actual job of serving the cases that you have in your caseload?
Great question, Scott. Thankfully, no. However, I will say this. We've had Hall of Fame case managers. When I say a Hall of Fame case manager, we had one lady, she would take on 1, 2, sometimes 3 horrific cases where you're just like, the mom was already, or the parent, let's just say, would already be threatening due process. So your data had to be there. There would be binders of information of when you met with the student, how often. It was mind blowing. But we would have case managers here along with some really good department chairs. And those department chairs were understanding enough to know, hey, listen, Makoto's got 17 on his caseload. There's no way we're taking that student and adding it to them. So I'm going to go as department chair and kind of be the liaison to the Hall of Fame case manager. And we're going to work this together because we know this can erupt any second. Those 3 to 5 a year really take a ton of time and energy away from the department lead or department chair and those 1 or 2 Hall of Fame case managers that are Jedis.
I'm curious, in video games, cheat codes let you skip months of grinding to unlock special abilities instantly. Have you ever wished for something similar for your software challenges? What if there's a way to instantly access 20 plus years of specialized expertise instead of developing it all internally? What if you could solve in weeks what might otherwise take months or years? Would you agree that most organizations face a steep learning curve when implementing new software solutions? At my company IIIMPACT, we serve as that cheat code for companies looking to transform complex software into intuitive experiences that users love and that drive real business results. Would it be valuable to explore? And how might this work for your specific situation? Visit impact.io for a free strategy session focused on your unique challenges.